Okay, welcome back to the Crypto Factor. Welcome back to your favorite cryptopreneurship show. My name is Paul, and today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about altcoins. We're going to be talking how Bitcoin almost reclaimed $70,000. I'm going to teach you what confirmation is and why you need to wait for things to confirm. But I'm also going to share my views, where we're going, what my strategy is, and I will be answering all your questions in the chat. So make sure you ask your questions in the chat, because I will be answering all of them if possible, as much as I can. And today I am streaming. I am going live from Greece, drinking whiskey today. I'm drinking whiskey and I'm drinking soda water today. It was also pizza day because I went around my friend's house, Mario, and he made us pizza and it was really, really good. So tell me where you're watching from. Tell me what you are drinking and any other questions that you may have. This live stream is sponsored by 2Bit Exchange. The exchange I'll be using, we're going to be talking about them a little bit later on in this video, but they are sponsoring this video. This video is powered by 2Bit, and we're doing something a bit different. We're doing something a bit different because it's not just your typical go to the link and sign up. You will notice there are actually two links. I don't know what this is. There are actually two links. One is the link to sign up. There may be some bonuses, whatever, doesn't matter. The second link is a group on Telegram. So if you actually sign up and come to the Telegram group and put your access into the Telegram group, you actually have customer service straight from the BD manager that brought us on. I'm also in the group to help you with your questions, setting up, or any questions you have. So exchanges can be slow to answer. Support groups can be slow. I'm trying this out to see how it goes. If it's for value for you, then we'll take it from there. Anyway, we'll talk a little bit about 2Bit later on. Let's have a look at the charts. Let's have a look what's going on. Maybe we'll even take a trade together. Let's have a look. So right now, we have Bitcoin on the daily here. And as you can see, this we called this bounce right here at 60K. We actually got in at 62K. We got into here, and we said that we might come and do something like this, either up to the factor line or quite possibly up to the 80K level. We were expecting this bounce. Now, keep in mind that we also said two things can happen from here. Either you're going to reject somewhere along the way and come and test this level down here, possibly even lower, or you're going to come back, make this support, and trade in this range over here, and then we'll have a look for a possible relief rally to the 94s, maybe 100K level, and then look for that massive possible heads and shoulders we were expecting long term, which we didn't actually get, okay? But let's see what happens with that. Now, what's going on now, though? We rejected from 70K. So maybe we're not quite ready for that bounce. So what we have to do, we have to wait. We rejected here. Are we going to get a higher low and then come up, or are we going to continue to the downside? That's the play right now. And this is why I said if the 70K is reclaimed, but you have to wait for confirmation. You always need to wait for confirmation, especially on weekends where there's low liquidity and the moves are not that sustainable many times. There's a lot of volatility. So you have to wait at least 2-3 days, in my opinion, depending on your trading style. Maybe even a week if you really want to confirm. But right now, as I said in my video multiple times, since we broke structure, anything under $74,000, it's a bear market until proven otherwise. Now, that said, we are expecting a relief rally. Bear markets have relief rallies, and they are quite powerful. You have to understand, we can get a relief rally of 20, even 30%. We can go up to the 100K level. The question is when? Because right now it's looking like we're going down. We're not sure yet, granted. We don't know yet. We're in a no trade zone, essentially. You could go short here. I mean, you could go short and put a stop loss above 70,000. I get that, maybe 72,000, that would be more accurate. But for me, it's a no trade zone. We're waiting to either reach lower levels, the 60K level, and see if it holds and actually bounces from there with any meaningful volume or momentum, or we're waiting for 70,000 to break so we can get in with a stop loss under 70,000. If you're a bull, those are your two options. Right now, you're not trading. Does that make sense? You're either going to wait for 70K to break, become support, and buy there, actually buy higher, and then with a stop loss around 68K, for example, or you're waiting for it to come down to the 60s bounce, then stop loss under 60s, which is much easier, much more conventional. In my opinion, that's what you should do. That is your play as a bull right now. Now, if you're short, you're either continuing your short trade already, or you're taking a short close to 70,000 with a stop loss above 70,000, and you're playing it down to the lower 60s, you're taking profits, then revaluating. And if it breaks under 60, you're doubling down because you're probably going to get to the 55, 50K level. That said, we are oversold. I mean, the trend stacker here on the daily at least, shows some sort of reversal is imminent. Now, granted, that was down here, so maybe this is already it. But nevertheless, that is the play. And the factor line is red on the daily, and we are bearish until it changes. There was a trade, if we go to the 4-hour, there was a trade to take right here. If you notice on the bounce, it made a new range, and right at the mid-range, you could buy. Let me just delete these drawings so you can see it better. And you can see that the factor line did turn gold and is still gold right now. But for this to play out, if this is indeed a higher low from here, which was also a buy signal if you can look at it, another buy signal now. But if you know how to trade and you actually have the factor line, you have to understand you have to break this resistance over here, make it support, and then once that high is broken, it's off to the races. So that's your play right now. So right now you're waiting for 70 to 72K to become support, if that makes sense. Okay? And as you can see, the trend stacker is neutral here. So that's your play if you're a bull. Let me drink some whiskey. And then we also have some sparkling water because I'm thirsty. But that is the play. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm waiting for one of those two levels so I can act accordingly. Now, I did buy $62,000, and I did get into Bitcoin and Hype and some Aster for that play, which turned out to be okay, but it's not a certainty, and it's nothing to go deep or double down on. It's double up as it's going up, as it's breaking resistances. If it comes back down and breaks down, break even, get out. Does that make sense? But we are bearish until proven otherwise. We're in a bear market until proven otherwise. That's what's going on with Bitcoin right now. When it comes to altcoins, you can see most of them are in the red. Hype is strong. That's why Hype is one of them that I got into. And also Aster didn't come down a lot, as you can see, 1.1. So we were right for the calls, Aster and Hype, because they're strong. Zcash also in privacy, we're holding Zcash, but generally speaking, we are waiting. The whole markets, look, they're all red over here. All of them are red. So for me, you're not doing anything with altcoins, only Bitcoin. And then maybe you're taking very small positions in altcoin, but understand it's significant risk, and it's not time to buy altcoins right now. Very simple. So that's the play here. That's what's going on. So if you were to take this trade, I'm going to answer some questions in just a second, actually. And I do see people saying hi. Oh, Graham, thanks for the super chat, man. Really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it, man. Awesome. Hope you're doing well, man. Then you have Golden Surfer asking, Kai is the new Casper. This sounds like a shill. not really a question. Let's have a look at Kai. Let's see what Kai is. I'm really curious. We'll have a look at Kai in a second. I see Rene Montenegro saying, hey, what's up, Paulie? Hi, how are you? Jet says, honestly, guys, if you have dry powder, just start stacking sats aggressively. Nope. I just explained what you should do. You don't just keep, look, let me explain something, because a lot of people get into this mentality of just buy the dip, no matter what it is, and then they get completely wrecked. And if you've been doing that so far, you're wrecked. If you were doing that since 126,000, you're wrecked, right? You should wait and do it at the right places. You have to think of crypto like a business. You have to think trading like a business, whether it's crypto, stocks, whatever, it doesn't matter. And you have to think about it as if you had your own business, like a store. So imagine you had a clothes store and you sold dresses, and you had yellow dresses, blue dresses, and red dresses. And one day the distributor comes and says, hey, you know what? We have a special on green dresses. We have them 25% down. So sure, I'll buy them. So you buy them with 25% discount. Then the next week or next month after that, it comes back, hey, we have another 25% on green dresses. But no one's buying green dresses, but hey, guess what? Another 25% discount, let's buy the dip. So you buy more green dresses, and it goes down another 50%, and you buy more green dresses. Well, you're buying those green dresses. What, are you gonna have a store full of green dresses? Meanwhile, people want the red dresses or blue dresses, or might want the blue dresses and red dresses later on, but you don't have capital because it's locked up over here in these green dresses that you can't sell, and now there's opportunity cost. So no, you don't just keep buying and stacking sats or anything. And I love Bitcoin. I'm a semi-Bitcoin maximalist. I'm a shitcoin minimalist. I own shitcoinminimalist.com. Okay? No, literally, I own shitcoinminimalist.com. So when you keep on doing this, though, this is the wrong mentality. That's not how you're supposed to invest or trade. You could buy the dip once or twice, sure. But at some point, you have to draw the red line and understand I'll buy back higher makes more sense with clear stop losses rather than buy back lower. And if you think that large investors don't look at technical analysis, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. They do. So just buying the dip into oblivion is not a strategy, okay? That's why I have this channel, to help people understand and learn how to actually trade and invest in crypto. So I do not agree with that. I understand where you're coming from, but I can't fully agree with that. Is Canton real deal? We can talk about that. Mo said, so if we get a relief rally this month, will it be? We don't know when it's going to be. What I do know is I have dry powder in various exchanges to buy these levels, just like I did with 62K when it came to Bitcoin hype and so on at those levels. And the reason, and I have some on wallets where I can just quickly swap. And I also have on exchanges. And the exchange I'm working with right now, which is 2bit, I'm actually holding some cash on 2bit. So let me show you. And it's not a lot, but it's real. This is not, by the way, this is not funded accounts, fake money, like all exchanges and KOLs do. This is my real money. Any exchange I show you with money is my actual money. When I was showing you bots on Pionex and that shit went to fucking zero because of that massive drop we had, if you remember, I lost my money. And I'm transparent like that, okay? So let's have a look what's going on. 2bit, for example. This is 2bit exchange. Again, the link is in the description down below. Also in the chat pinned at the top. Right? But this is the 2bit exchange over here. Let's go to the daily chart. And look, I'm not trading this. I'm not trading this because we don't know if this here, 64,000, let me try and zoom in for you a little bit here. I want this candle to hold right here. So I need 64,780, let's call it 65K psychological. I need this to hold. If this starts coming back up and breaks 72,000 or even 70K psychological, it makes perfect sense for me to buy back higher, or I will wait to see if this holds and then it breaks the recent high over here and keeps on going up so I can have some sort of how can I say this, structure to trade off of. So here we're waiting. Now, you could trade the 4 hour, I guess. Let's have a look. So you have 65 psychological here holding. Got it. So what you could do if you want to take the trade here, if you're bullish here, you can, in theory, if I extend this here, okay, look. If I extend this resistance and it becomes support, see how the price respects this as resistance and comes up and respects the support. Okay, I could put my stop loss under here if I want to take a risk trade. I could put my stop loss under here, even though I like larger moves as a swing trader. If you're a day trader, you could do this, I guess. You could take a position here and either take profits at 70K psychological, 71,000 and reevaluate. But I don't like doing that. I like playing longer moves. I'd rather play with my stop loss down here at 65K. So for me, if you wanted to take a trade here, sure, let's see what this looks like on, let's just do this on 2-bit so we can see what it's like, okay? So let's go to futures. Let's take a future position, future perpetual. This is the 15-minute chart. You can also use the 15-minute chart if you want it to be a bit more clear. You can also use the 30, 68. Let me go to the 4 hour that I like. 64. 68. So yeah, let's zoom into the 30 because it's the same candle. It makes sense. So 68. So your stop loss will be 67,900, let's say, depending on your style. You take the trade here. So for example, you never do 50x because I think that's absurd, especially in these markets. Maybe you do a 5 or even better, 2, 3x. Let's do a 3x. All right, I have $800 here. So let's say we do a trade on Bitcoin on 2-bit with $800. Let's make that long. Let's just, let's market. Okay, cool. So you use market for it to use the best price possible at this time with fluctuations, or you could limit. I'm going to go for market, take my long position here. So now we have a position in Bitcoin, and we want a stop loss at 67,900. So we go to stop loss over here. This side, 67,900. Sorry, 67,900. That didn't work. 67,900. That's a 3.7% loss. Market, that's fine. Do we want to delay? No. If that hits, it's $30 loss. It's nothing. Okay, so the stop loss is a very tight stop loss. I don't think it's worth it, but let's just do it anyway, just so you can see how 2-bit works. Oh, you also want a trigger price. I guess you have to put both of them. So let's do a trigger price of 72,000 or 74,000 psychological. So 73,400 because sometimes it doesn't get up there. That will give you $162 profit. To be quite honest, if it gets that high, I would reevaluate and at least go for 79. And then you can always hand pick it later. But let's just do this so we can see how this works. So confirm that. Spread protection is not enabled. Okay, let's just let's enable it, fine. And let's confirm that. So now you can see how this works. You took a position here, and if the price comes down and hits this line, it automatically stops you out. And let's just go to the daily real quick. So if it comes up here, right here where the resistance is 79,000, then it will take profits and take you out of the trade. So now you don't have to sit and babysit this. Now, me personally, 64,800 is where I'm going to put down my stop loss, and you should manually be able to move it down. Let's have a look, can you? I think you need to grab it from here. And you can manually bring it down? I'm not sure. Here. Yeah, so it's telling you if it, okay, $140. So I'm risking $140 stop loss. So I move my stop loss now down. I'm risking $140 to make $372. And that's your trade. Now, I might move this up depending on volume and so on, but that's how you basically protect yourself. And this makes sense because if this breaks, yes, sure, this level can hold and so on, but you want to reevaluate down here anyway, and that is a trade. So I just took a trade, and as you can see, open orders are here, or here, excuse me. It tells you where you're looking at, and that's it. And that's basically how you would trade this. I just showed you live an example with a technical overview, not technical analysis, because it takes a long time to actually do this. I need to sit here and study and look at the screen and drink coffee and make up my mind and look at all the charts and so on, look at the factor line when I usually trade. But just to show you how easy 2Bit is to use and how easy to take a trade, there you go. So check out 2Bit in the links down below. Check it out also. That's Eli Powell Wallet. That's my other sponsor. That's my course, sorry. Right here. You can just scan the code right here. And check out the group. It's pinned in the chat. And there you go. Let me drink some sparkling water. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. So someone mentioned Kai. I don't know what the hell it is. So let's have a look at it. How's it spelled? QUAI. Oh, QUAI. Must be a QAI coin. So let me show you how to research this. So this is QUAI network. This is what he's talking about. And look, came down, came up, boom, came down, maybe found the bottom here. This is the weekly. Looking at the daily, I would wait for it to break 0.062, or even better, I'd buy it higher if it broke one. Oh no, that's a bit too high. Maybe $1. I would buy it from 90 cents to $1 because it might break 1.3 and then it's off to the. If it can break this resistance over here, like this line over here, then it could shoot up very high. But the question is, do you want to buy it down here? I'm not sure. Maybe. It's about to break previous resistance. Let's see what happens. If this comes up, becomes support, it might be good. Now, I don't know what QUAI is. I don't even know this coin. The chart doesn't look that bad, to be quite honest. It's only 40% down from all-time highs. So what I could do is I could come over here to AI Crypto Suite, right? And here we have some AI tools that I've actually built for this reason. And there's a couple of them. One is my coin dead? Crypto TA Reality Check, and also CoinScan over here. So for example, with CoinScan, you can come over here, and this is a free GPT, and you can just put QUAI network, click enter, and what it will do is it will give you an analysis of if it's a scam, if the code, if there's any honeypots. It will give you an overview it's pretty 90% accurate if there's any scams or anything in the code that you can actually check here. You just give it some time to do some thinking. And this is completely free, by the way. And this is a medium risk coin, as it tells you over here, which is actually okay right now for this market. And it explains why over here, it's not showing you any on-chain signals right now, but it's showing you development signals. It is actively maintained. This is good. There are regular releases on GitHub, so it's good. So this does not look like a scam. Non-obvious in context signals, so this is for hacks and so on. And then you just confirm that it's the QUAI and mainnet and not the ERC20 lookalike. So there's a lookalike you have to be careful over here. And you can give it the contract address to show you. And this is one of the tools that I've developed for analysis at AICryptoSuite.com. You can also look at the TA. For example, you can come over here to this GPT, go to over here, CoinMarketCap QAA network, go to TradingView. This is the 24-hour. You grab a screenshot of the top part over here so you can see everything. You come back to TA Reality Check, paste that in, and just let it do its thing, and it will give you a TA the way I do TA when I don't have the factor line, which is better than most people out there, to be honest with you. And it will let you know what the chart is saying. The market environment, for example, is on a clean trend. And this is exactly what I was saying. It's a post-spike transition. I've been saying it's better to wait for it to break resistance to buy higher rather than buy now. You have to wait for this to play out. Then it talks about structure, key zones, and so on. So look, major supply rejection area, boom. Pivot price, boom. So it's telling you exactly how to do TA very quickly. And then you could study this and do your own TA and evaluate your own TA. Finally, you can come to ismycoindead.com if it's an old coin or a meme coin, and just say QUAI here. Now, this will check it for the last 30 days. And what it will do is, this is telling you that the opportunity risk is high on QUAI. Why? Because performance against Bitcoin is bad. Bitcoin is actually doing better. Its volume is declining, and the price structure is below trend. As I was saying, you have to get above trend. So capital efficiency is weak. Opportunity cost versus Bitcoin seems high recently. So here you're waiting. And then if you want on-chain metrics and so on, you can put your email address and so on. So I built these tools on Crypto AI, so AICryptoSuite.com. It's in the links in the description down below. Check it out, because these are made to help you so you don't have to take YouTubers' word for it or so-called experts and shit like that, because a lot of people don't know how to do TA, don't know how to check on-chain metrics, don't know how to do this. So, well, I'm giving you the tools for free. For free. So I can help you make money, so maybe you buy my course. Sorry, it's win-win, right? So that's why I developed these tools. It took many nights and days to make. I fit a lot of information into these for my own trading in crypto, specifically for crypto. They're free. Go check them out. AICryptoSuite.com. This is my contribution for you for 2026. And there are other tools in there that are really good. There's like, look, Crypto Wallet Picker. You don't know what crypto wallet to pick? Get into this app, completely for free. There's no signups, no nothing. Answer a couple of questions, right? For example, what's your budget for a hardware wallet? $100 to $174, whatever. Approximately how much crypto do you plan to hold? Over 50,000. How often do you transact? Rarely, for example. You answer a few questions here. Let's go back and let's just make this long-term holding. I prefer it, but not required. Show my results. And look, for you specifically, with what I entered, it's recommending a Trezor for these reasons over here. But it could have been a whole, and you can just click the link and go and buy safely. And then it gives you a few more options down here. And of course, my wallet of choice up here is Elipal, but it answers to your specific needs and questions, right? So generally speaking, I've been developing all these tools for you and for me to also learn AI and get involved in AI, because I'm getting involved in AI very heavily. And this is the way to do it. So regardless, let's move on. So check out 2Bit Exchange. They are sponsoring this video. They are sponsoring this live stream. And we will be working with them for a while. So let's see what else we have here. So if we get a relief rally this month, will it be March or April? We do not know, Mo. We just do not know. That's speculation. We cannot know. We go by the 4-year cycle for tops and bottoms, and it plays out. And I said we're going to be going with the 4-year cycle until proven otherwise. But whether we have a relief rally now or next month or in the next couple of weeks, we do not know. You have to see if it breaks 70K chances are we'll get one, and holds above, it makes that support. Chances are we're going to get one, because if it breaks it again, chances are it will break 74K, and 74K is where structure reverses, so you'll probably get a relief rally. But don't be surprised if we go down to 50K or even lower and have a relief rally up to 80K. Very possible as well. But there is money to be made even in bear markets, even if you're a bull, and you have to know when to shift. And that's what the factor line is all about. Because don't forget the factor line, by the way. It's the course right here. Teaches you everything you need to know about investing, trading, and how to think like I do. Plus, it's got the indicator, the factor line I showed you earlier on. This one's paid. This one's not free. Okay? AI Crypto Suites, my contribution is free. It's very powerful. This here is paid. Okay? Just letting you know that. All right? Okay. Can altcoins still go up like crazy if Bitcoin? Yes, yes they can. You could even get an altcoin rally that will almost look like a select alt season in the sense that they can do massive gains. Yes, this is a possibility. We should have had it by now, in my opinion. And I did say if it doesn't happen now, it might never happen. And it's been months since I said that. So we could still get it. We might not get an alt season per se, but we can get a massive, massive rally that looks like one or resembles one in the beginning phases, which can be 10x, even 20. Let's see what happens though. Jamie says, Bitcoin is a classic staircase, never a bad time to buy. Sure, fine. If you're Michael Saylor or you're a multimillionaire, I'm not a multimillionaire. I've made millions, but I'm not a multimillionaire, unfortunately. If you can just buy whenever you want and don't need money for, and you don't want to take that's a whole different story. And I understand. I have Bitcoin that I'm holding since 2017. And I add to that. But not everyone can do that. Some people need to pay bills, they need to pay for shit, and they can't do that. And they need to take profits. And money they have in, it's not the bear market, it's not how low Bitcoin can go. Remember, it's how long it can stay down there. So markets can stay irrational more than you can stay solvent. Markets can stay in the bear market for a year. And it's not about the prices going down, it's about the prices being low for a year, just draining you until you need money. And sometimes you capitulate and go get out, not because you want to, because you have to, because you have shit to pay for. So it all depends on your style. I mean, again, if you're just buying and accumulating, you don't care about price because you're Michael Saylor or Grant Cardone or somebody with a lot of money, I get it. I partly do that, but I also live off crypto. So I kind of mix it, if that makes sense. Troy's gonna like, hi, look, I did like it. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of liked it. The price structure was good, but as you saw, what I called and then verified with my tools, not the right time to buy yet. Go a little bit higher, break some resistances, sure. Go lower, find more support, sure. But right now is not time to buy it, in my opinion. Aye, aye, Captain Paul. Is this platform a US platform or do you need a VPN? Still can't. Is this platform a US platform or need a VPN? I'm not sure. You can ask in the group though. If you go to the group that's up at the top and ask, the BD manager of 2Bit will answer. All crypto tools are free anywhere you are in the world, by the way, because you don't even pay for them. But when it comes to 2Bit, that one you gotta ask in the group, or it should say it on the website. What I do know is it's a good exchange, all right? And I did KYC, just so you know, because why not? But if you don't want to do that, that's a whole different story. You're looking for a DEX, that's a different story, right? Let me see if I can ask if I can bring customer service or bring the BD manager in here real quick. Give me a second here. Maybe I can get him into the live. His name is Alan. Hey, Alan. Hey, Alan, we have questions about 2Bit in the live. Please join and answer. Let's see. If he sees the message, maybe he can join us and shed some light. Because I just literally made this deal with 2Bit yesterday, okay? We just got the deal done. And the reason I actually accepted, I don't usually like exchanges as sponsors for my channel, but his idea about having the group and answering the questions and supporting my community, I said, what the hell, why not? 2Bit is a reputable exchange. I think it's worth checking it out and seeing how it goes. So, and since I'll be trading and I want to trade during this bear market or upcoming bear market or continuation of this bear market, whatever we want to call it, I said yes because another exchange, cool. I have multiple exchanges and so should you. So if you are already in another exchange and you want to support the channel and you want me to support you, that's why we have the group, then please sign up using the affiliate link. I would really appreciate it, and you have access to service and the group where I myself and Alan will be in there to answer any questions. Let me cough, because I am recovering from a cold. Whew. Okay, thank you. Good to see you on the platform in action. Thank you very much, man. Really appreciate you, Golden Surfer. Hello from California. California love. I wish I could auto-tune with my voice, but Cali. My girlfriend wants to go to Cali. She wants to go to Cali. I think I'd like to go to Cali. I'd like to check it out. I'm not sure what it's like now. I know I'm a Tupac fan, so I kept on hearing West Side, West Side. So I would love to check it out. The reason I want to go to California is not just Tupac, by the way, but I'm just saying. But I have not been, at least not yet, so. Hey, so your tool actually tell us what Kyle, well, I just showed you what the tool does for you. And you can ask it questions. The GPT version, you can actually ask it questions and get feedback. You can actually do that, yes. And it's specifically made to be in, for crypto. Archie and Cohen was right, we're in a bear market. Yes, they were right. They made the call a bit too soon because we didn't break structure. I can't keep explaining this to you. It was the correct call, but they were a bit fast with their call in my opinion, but they turned out to be right, if that makes sense. But it was very hard, it was a very risky call because it could have bounced at any time and it did not break structure. So for me, it was a premature call, but nevertheless ended up getting into a bear market. Okay, so yes. You should have sold when we, okay, you should have sold when we lost the 50-week moving average. So if you actually watch my videos and you don't just, repeat what you hear from other influencers, if you know what we actually did, you would see that I made the call to actually get out when we dropped under 117,000. I was saying 117,000, if that breaks, we can go up to the 112, even the low hundreds. So we already took profits at 117. Then when we dropped down, and Ivan on Tech was saying 110,000, if we break that, we're going to go to the low hundreds. I was saying, nope, 112,000. So we took more profits at 112,000 and then continued to exit under 100,000. So let me ask you this. Who was right? Who made the right call here? Or did I make the wrong call here? Because we did great. And you look at, and we just didn't jump into this is a bear market when it wasn't a fucking bear market. Just because it went down under. Bitcoin's known to make those drops under the 50, we can come back up. We just didn't, we were waiting to see if we're gonna get that bounce. Look, I can explain things to you, but I can't understand them for you, okay? So as much as they got it right, and as much as we are in a bear market, and we're gonna act like we're in a bear market until proven otherwise, either you're gonna learn how to trade, or you're just gonna listen to other people, and then hope next time they make the call, they're gonna do it premature. Are they gonna be right or wrong? Let's see, right? It's up to you. It depends on your trading style. I respect both of them. I respect both Archie and Cohen, especially Archie. I would say I respect Archie more because he made some great calls on gaming coins, and I've been watching his live streams, and I've told him that I respect him, and I actually want to meet him, and I actually want to do a couple of shows with him. So don't think I'm challenging them. But I disagree with them, all right? And I explained why. Now you can either understand this or not. That's up to you. And you can either listen to influencers like me or Archie or Cohen or Ivan or whoever you want, or you can learn by maybe reading a few books and maybe teaching technical analysis since 2015 or even before that in the Forex industry for Teletrade and Profit Point, because that's what I used to do. And if you watch my call since 2017, I've been in crypto, not just as a trader and investor, but a C-level executive, author, and speaker. If you want to learn, I'm here to teach you. I'm not here to make calls. I teach you how I think. So it all depends on your style. If you just want to copy someone, this channel is not really for you. But if you want to learn and understand I'm not going to kiss anybody's ass and just give my opinion so you can actually learn, then this channel is for you. And yes, I do make my calls and I tell you what I do. And if you were watching this channel, you'd be getting out of the 117,000 anyway. Shit, the factor line told you to get out of the 120 as soon as that broke. But our rules is to wait for confirmation, and we drew the line in the sand at 117,000. This is all documented in videos. So again, it's up to you. But regardless, I respect both Archie and Cohen, and they were right. We did end up in the bear market, but I'm insisting they made the call too soon. And I challenge anybody, textbook-wise. Give me a second, 1 second. More books somewhere here. Where are they? Where are they? What the hell is it? So I have another 3 books somewhere that I'm missing here. I probably have them inside because I've been cleaning up this office and have my other office now. But I challenge anybody to go through what I've been through to learn and actually teach how to do technical analysis. Please be my guest. I used to teach this. I'm on stage teaching this, answering questions. I have the most expensive, or one of the best, most expensive courses I have studied that cost $18,000 to learn technical analysis. I've been trained as a manager in the Forex industry to teach technical and fundamental analysis. I have multiple books. I only have 3 of them on this bookshelf. I don't know why. But I have more books that I've been studying. I've been taking courses, doing this, living off this, right? It's up to you. You can believe or follow whoever you want. I think you should follow all of us. To be quite honest, if you told me, hey, I'm following Archie and Benjamin Cohen, awesome. They're actually pretty good. Henry, California, I'm in boring Silicon Valley where all the tech is Southern California, like Los Angeles. Gotcha. Alan Zia, is Alan, okay, I think this is the BD manager from the group. Alan Xia, 1684, not sure. Let me just verify, but he's saying that you can indeed use it in the US. I'm inside, I was trying to type. Okay, let me just verify something. Alan Xia, 1684. Is that you? Alan, if you can just reply in the Telegram, if you can just verify that's you, I'll make you a mod in the chat. And it probably is you, I'm just realizing, so let me just make you a mod, and if you, well actually, I'll wait for your confirmation. Just go to Telegram and say yes or no, if that's you, please. Yes, okay, it is you, okay. So let me just make you a mod here. There you go. Don't hide anyone without a warning, by the way. Don't ban anybody without warnings. But welcome and thank you for being here. So yes, you can use 2-bit in the US. And I might move my stop loss up later on. You need time to do technical analysis and actually make moves. I just wanted to show you how it worked, so you saw how 2-bit works. But yeah, if I can use perpetual so if you are in the US, you can definitely use perpetuals because 2-bit can be used. So there you go. Yeah, and you also get some bonus and support in the group, which is also linked at the top in the chat, so you can join and in the description down below. I don't know what the referral bonus is up. Those are up to Alan. He's the 2-bit guy. I'm the crypto factor guy. If that makes sense. All right, do you guys have any more questions? Put them in the chat while I drink more whiskey here. Oh yeah, something I forgot to mention, and Alan has mentioned it now. 2-bit is actually a non-KYC crypto exchange. I KYC, but you don't have to, if that makes sense. By the way, quick fun thing about Twitter. Because something happened on Twitter, I think it's funny. I wanna make something absolutely clear about my ethnicity and my beliefs on Twitter real quick, because I think some people have something wrong. So if you come over here on my X account, Twitter, at MCPaulD, if anyone's looking for it, right? You'll see this post over here that I made, okay? Now understand what I'm trying to say here. So I'm saying Helen of Wakanda. And look, I'm Greek. We grew up with Helen of Troy as the golden-haired beauty who launched 1,000 ships. Nothing against Lupita, and I really don't have anything against her. I think she's amazingly beautiful. I would date Lupita. I would go out with her. Don't tell my girl, but I would definitely go. She is beautiful. My first girlfriend I ever had sex with, to be more precise, was black. She was from Soweto. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, she's stunning, but casting her as Helen feels like casting me as Black Panther. It's the wrong mythology. You have to remember that a real war, a series of conflicts happened around Troy. We have this as history. Troy is history for us, but the Iliad, by Homer, or the Odysseus, the Omiros, sorry, this is a mythologized version of our history. You have to understand this. So I wanted a Greek or someone that looks like Greek to play Helen of Troy. Just like if you are African or black, you would want a black guy to play Black Panther or Martin Luther King and so on. Anyway, regardless, that's not what this is all about. I hope you understand what I'm saying here. But I had this one comment, and I don't want to blast this guy, by the way. I actually respect him and appreciate him following me and watching my channel and all that. He actually said some good things. But he has one mistake. He thinks I'm being racist. I'm not. I'm being ethnic. I'm Greek. And I think the confusion lies right here. At this comment by Spasit says, I expected better of you. Last time I checked, you were Iraqi Arab. Dude, I'm not an Iraqi Arab. I'm Greek. I'm literally Greek. I have a Greek shield right here. A Greek helmet right here. I have a shield on the back that says Greece will never die. I'm literally in Greece. My last name is Democritou. I don't know how much more Greek you can get from that. And he goes on to say, it doesn't concern you, leave it to the Greeks. Dude, I'm Greek. Like, imagine us. I am Greek. What's wrong with you? So I have a say in this more than anyone else, more than you. Because you're not African or Greek. So I don't know what you're talking about here, right? And then you're saying that's the problem. Stop trying to be part of a ethnicity that doesn't belong to you. What do you mean? Now you're taking my ethnicity away from me? This is what I don't get sometimes. Anyway, and then I tell him this. I tell him, look, I say, dude, I'm Greek. My last name is Democritus. Who said I was an Iraqi Arab? And he goes on to say, dude, you said it in one of your live streams a few years back. While I was fighting cancer, was a few years back, by the way. I'm a long-term follower. Okay, I was live streaming when I was a few years ago while fighting, but I'm sure you misunderstood this. Because, look, I can speak a little bit of Arabic. I know some Arabic words. I also know some Farsi words. I've lived in Iran. I've lived and worked in Iran. But I can't speak the language, and I never said I was Arab or Iraqi or anything like that. I'm proud of being Greek. I have some Armenian blood in me, but I'm mostly Greek. My first language is Greek. So I don't know where that came from. Anyway, this is my opinion, and I will voice it, and it's how I feel. And I'm sick of tired of people portraying Greek heroes and historical figures, even mythological figures, when they're literally written how and described in the book, how they are. It's like me playing the Black Panther. It doesn't make sense because he was black in the comments, whatever. It's the Black Panther. So should I become it because it doesn't matter, it's acting? No. And especially since this is part of our history and culture, why is everybody allowed to be offended except the Greek guys? I don't understand why we're not allowed to be offended. First of all, we shouldn't even be called Greek. We should be called Hellion because that's the actual name. Let me just put some air conditioner on here because it's getting hot. It's Hellion and it's Elas. That's what the word, that's what Greek is, a Turkish word. It actually means unfaithful. It's kind of like calling us the N-word. It's just that it's embedded so much, we just leave it. We left it alone because we're not worried about it. And before you tell me about black slavery for 400 years, excuse me, we were occupied and raped and everything for 500 years. I mean, we have a right to care about our history too. There are beautiful African princesses and queens that fought wars with the Romans. Why isn't there no movies about that? Those are amazing historical events. Why do you need to take from Greeks? It's offensive both to the Greeks and the black people and the African people, in my opinion. Anyway, this is my view. So, just to make it clear, if you are watching right now, if you are watching, Basit, if you are watching, dude, I'm Greek. I'm sorry, I'm not Iraqi or Arab. I do know some Arabic words. I know some Farsi words. I even know some Russian words, but I'm not Russian, Persian, or Iranian, or Arabic. I partly am in Dubai. I have businesses in Dubai. I have a Dubai residency, but I'm Greek and proud of it. Anyway, a little bit of an off-course explanation on my heritage right there. Henry says, I don't know much about that movie, but supposedly maybe a blockbuster by Christopher Nolan. Look, don't get me wrong. I'll still watch the movie. I'll still enjoy the movie. I'm not going to be an idiot about it because I'm not like that. And it is what it is. But me having an opinion about what Helen of Troy should look like should not have somebody judging me on if I'm wrong or right and telling me I'm not Greek, I shouldn't speak when I'm literally Greek. I actually find it weird that out of all the cast, there's no Greek people in there. But anyway, regardless. Look, let me give you another example. The last one, the Troy with Brad Pitt, there was historical inaccuracies in there. Like Achilles, he never got into Troy. He died on the battlefield. Obviously, that movie, they made the movie different. I get that. There's a lot of inaccuracies. Nick the Greek restaurateur. Yeah. Nick the Greek was So Henry, let me tell you something about Nick the Greek. I'm not sure if it's the same person or not, but Nick the Greek was a very big mafia guy. And it just so happened that I actually went to school with him, if we're talking about the same one. But anyway, regardless. Lambros says, bravo. See, he's speaking in Greek with Greek letters, and I can read that because I'm Greek. If I was Iraqi, not that I have anything against the Iraqis, but I wouldn't be able to read what he's writing right now, would I? Tony says, you are right, too much wokeness is destroying historical stories. Yeah, they are. And it's a disgrace, not just for the people they're destroying, but I think it's offensive to black people. I think it's offensive because they have some great leaders. You had this amazing queen, I can't remember her name, that fought the Romans and kicked their ass. That's some cool shit. You know what I mean? And they just forget about that. Let's just borrow other figures from history and make them black. Why? Why not make movies about that? Why am I not seeing movies about that? You know how much great things African people have done? A lot of people don't know this. African people, Iraqi, Syria. Oh my God, there's so many great, magnificent things they've done, but they don't make movies about that. You don't have to insert them everywhere. You can just you can do something that's, you can have actors that are black, of course, but when you make an historical epic, you need to depict the characters in some sort of likelihood the way they're written in history or historical references. It just doesn't make sense. Remember, Troy is not just a myth, it's a myth based on a true story. We just don't know if Helen of Troy actually existed or was the excuse to make the war, but there was a war with Athens or Greece and Troy. And Troy was Greek. It was a civil war. Because back then it was a part where it was also Greek. And those of you saying, no, it wasn't, it was Turkish, it was not a country. Dude, they spoke Greek and worshipped the same Greek gods. I'm sorry, they were Greek. Anyway. Είσαι 100% Έλληνας. Ναι. Labros, yes, I am. What is the worst scenario for early crypto developers being heavily involved in? Who gives a shit? When I say who gives a shit, I don't mean who gives a shit in the sense that it doesn't matter and it's okay to do that and all that crap. No, I'm not saying that. Let me be very, very careful with what I'm saying here. So essentially, the only references I've seen with crypto or Bitcoin specifically and the Epstein files is that at some point Epstein gave some sort of investment for, I think it was Block 1 with Adam Back. Adam Back is referenced in the Bitcoin white paper. A lot of people thought it was Satoshi, but it was just referenced in the Bitcoin white paper as one of the early developers, cypherpunks. Along with Scott Stornetta, which, by the way, I've interviewed. He actually contributed to my book, The Crypto Factor. He's in my book. I was supposed to put Alan back, but I don't know what happened. I can't remember what happened. I think I got sick and I didn't get to interview him or something. But I did have contact with him. But regardless, it was some sort of investment which then got denied or something like that. But they invest in everything. And you have to understand that just because they invested in there, and there was some emails back and forth, I guess, but just because that happened, you have to understand that, let's say Bitcoin is hard, sound money. It certainly has sound hard money principles, right? Well, fiat is even more dirtier, and has more shit about it in the Epstein files than anything else, and more shit has been going on with the dollar. And other companies as well. If I'm a mass murderer and I invest in Jessica's flower shop, does not make Jessica Flower Shop a part of my murder spree, or her a murderer, or her condoning murder or agreeing with it. It just doesn't make sense. So in that sense, who gives a shit? Until something's proven further, it doesn't matter. And even if it is proven, when it comes to actual Bitcoin, it's like saying the dollar. The dollar is dirtier, and more shit has happened over the dollar than Bitcoin. So let's just get rid of the dollar too, and Bitcoin while we're at it. Fuck it. Let's make XRP the new. That's not too. No, don't take that literally. Please chat BCH. I actually interviewed Roger Ver in my book also. He also contributed to my book, The Crypto Factor. So I understand where he's coming from. I think he was a great marketer at the time. He split. I don't really agree with the block size, but I understand what he was doing. For me, if he made it another coin not called Bitcoin Cash, and made it something else and didn't try and take the Bitcoin route and made it another form of peer-to-peer payment, I think it would have been massive right now, maybe even second place over Ethereum. Okay? Maybe third or something like that. He did not. He tried to do it the other way and become Bitcoin. Consensus kicked in. Bitcoin won. Bitcoin Core won. So even if Bitcoin Cash, or even Satoshi's Vision, BSV. BSV is arguably closer to the original Bitcoin than Bitcoin. But consensus chooses. And Bitcoin, in that case, evolved, and Bitcoin Core is Bitcoin, if that makes sense. So that's my view when it comes to Bitcoin and all other Bitcoin try-to-bes. Bitcoin's the actual Bitcoin, and it won. That's my view, if that makes sense. Do we have any more questions? No. All right, so check out 2Bit. You can scan the coin here, this coin. You can scan the card here, or you can look at the links in the description below. The group is also in the description down below and at the chat at the top. You get support straight away by my man Alan. All right, he's the BD manager of 2Bit. Check out the exchange. I'll be using it for a while, maybe even this year. And that way you can see my trades, even see what I'm doing during the bear market. So thank you very much. Really appreciate you. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe down below. I would really, really appreciate it. Hit that bell notification button so you can get notifications and to support me. I love you all. Thank you. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.